The Glorious Return event is now live in Call of Dragons, so as you can see here, I can buy back a lot of my deads. I have 7 days to do so. I know this is not news, but this is the first time we can actually play with it live and see exactly how it works. So I'm going to go over it and buy back what I need and show you exactly how much dead and how many troops I get back from this. So first, looking here into my logs, you can see that I lost about 2.6 million troops last season. I got back 1.3 million back from the ossuary, so that's like the 50% that you get back no matter what. Now the other half is basically here. Now you'll realize it's not exactly half, it's 1.16 instead of 1.3, meaning that basically 5% of all troops are gone forever. This is basically just what you lose. Instead of 50%, you basically lose 5%, and the other 45%, as you can see, I can now buy back here, including T4, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's the same amount of token per troop. It doesn't matter what type of tier they are. So, I mean, you don't really want to spend on these guys. You don't have to. So basically, you can see here 1.168 is what I can revive. Now, if I want to revive, I get to spend. So, of course, money is going to be a very easy way to buy back a ton of troops for not very expensive, but you can also start with gems, and you can basically revive almost all of your troops with gems if you have enough. So 10k, it costs 300 and I can buy it 20 times. So basically for 6,000 gems, I can buy back 200,000 troops. So I'll do it right now at 50% off. So let's do it. 6,000 gems gone, 200,000. So I can go here and revive 200,000. Now it won't let me until I basically make it so that's only 200,000, but you get the point. So I mean, 6,000 gems for 200,000 troops, especially T4 or T5. I mean, it's insane, as in you will spend way more than 6,000 gems in speed ups and resources. Like, you must do this. Even at this price, this is double the price. So for 180,000 gems, you could revive up to 3 million troops. So I mean, I am nowhere near needing that, and I fought like crazy. You need to have lost over 6 or 7 million troops in the KVK to really need this. And I mean, that's 70 million powers worth of troop. If you are losing that much, you most likely can afford it. But again, I would say most likely not even recommended. Even this one that I spent for 6,000 gem, it's very beneficial if you're not going to spend. But what I bought for 200,000, 6,000 gem, I can buy for $6.99 or 5 US basically. So I mean, 5 US for the same amount of 6,000 gem. If we go here in the store and you look at what 5 US gets you, it's 1,000 gem. So, I mean, in this scenario, I am going to be spending $5 for 6,000 gems worth of return seal. So if you are going to be spending, it is way better than the gems here. I really only did this for the video, to be honest. I would never spend this amount of gem when you can buy it per money. But obviously, I am going to need to do both in my case. But if you look here, up to 139 bucks, so I mean that's 100 US dollars. So if you do the entire thing here, I think 185, you would be getting over 5 million troops back. It's very insane how much you can get back for this amount of money. Again, that would mean you would lose 120 million worth of power in one season to need this. Only someone like Mubin on my server really needed this, to be honest. And then you can buy this 10 times, so you can revive over 30 million troops. So I mean, you can revive almost 500 million worth of power lost in a KVK in troops, which is absolutely insane. Most likely won't happen in terms of, you know, you're not going to be needing this, but those who will need it will definitely be able to afford it. So in any case, in my situation, I need about 1.2 million. So, you know, I will buy this one, I will buy this one, and I will buy this one. And I have 1.4 million that cost me less than 50 bucks, which is at 30 something bucks US. And then I use the 6,000 gem to make it 1.4. I didn't need the extra here, to be honest. I could have not spent the gems, but here they are. You can go by troop type too if you want. I mean, I'm going to revive obviously everything. For 35 bucks, I'm reviving like basically 12 million powers worth of troops, which is a huge amount of power for this. So, I mean, let's do it right now. Boom. Everything's been revived. Now I am up at 12 million power and I have all my troops back. So as you can see, I mean, it is a pretty crazy amount of troops you can get back for a very low amount of money if you are going to be spending, but otherwise gems allow you to do it. Even though it's not as beneficial as the spending, it is still very beneficial because the cost of training these troops in speed ups and in resources is way more than it will cost you in the gems or the money by a large margin. Now, the last question remaining is the return seals. What happens to them after you spend them? And I had obviously 200,000 plus left over. And you see that basically there's really nothing that is said here. It doesn't say when you will be getting them or if they stay in your inventory and stuff like that. There really isn't information about that. But from what I've read online, according to customer service, which is, you know, not always correct, as it's mostly bot or interns, but from what they said, you're supposed to retain them from next season. So when I go into my next season and at the end of the season, when I go to buy back, I should have over 200 and like I think 40 or 30 something thousand of these seal left in my inventory. If you look here, sadly, you won't find them anywhere. Like they're not anywhere here. There is nothing I can see. Maybe they'll appear. Maybe it's a visual glitch because obviously it's brand new. It's a new thing that just got introduced. So I don't have an answer for permanently like 100%. I can't really tell you if it is there or not, but what I can tell you is that according to customer service, it should last until the next season. Though in any case, if you don't need to overspend, I wouldn't overspend. I just spend next season instead, you know, just to be safe. Now, with the end of the season also means the next season is going to be upon us pretty soon. So you can see here, Age of Duality, that's going to be the next season. There's 6 camp. It will last for 40 days. Now, we already have a lot of information on this previously, but if you look at the details, it is basically going to be season 6, or in my case, I guess season 10. I'm not even sure how many seasons it's been now. And this is going to be, again, like I think a Flame Dragon related, as you can see here. So this one is going to be a 6 affiliated region. If you look at the map, you can see here. So it's 6 region around, you know, one massive kind of region in the middle. I'm sure there will be zones in between as well. A bit different. It's still Tamaris. So it's like Tamaris in the past, basically. You're like time traveling against orcs, all kind of stuff. So we'll see what that really means when you get into it. One thing that's really important to notice here for those who are not aware yet is it is going to be a 1 versus 1, so it's 2 camps, one against each other. So it's the Expeditioners and the Defenders. And there is a new class mechanism. Basically, everybody who registers in different realms and classes, whatever, will be placed into a power bracket of A, B, and C, or D as well. And then you can have teams of A, B, B, or you can have teams of C, C, D, 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 D. So I mean 6 realms together or 3 realms together. So 3 very powerful realms and or 6 weaker, smaller realms. And in this entire pool of people registering, the 3 realms with the highest power will be Paragon realms. So for those of you familiar with Rise of Kingdom, it's the exact same thing. So for example, a server like Echo, a server like EIS, WB, those will all be, you know, almost 30 billion power. They will definitely be Paragon. And this means that Paragons cannot be with other Paragons. So where the limit will be very interesting, because if a 26 billion is considered non-Paragon, but it's an A, and then a 19 billion is also an A, it could make some very unfair matchups for sure. So we'll have to see. But in any case, at least the Paragons will be divided. So you'll definitely see a team like WB, EIS, Echo, possibly others will be fighting each other on one side alongside 2 weaker B realms on their team. Which will make for hopefully a good fight, but I mean, it's always up to the matchmaking gods in this scenario because there isn't so many powerful team of that level. So there will be always a side somewhere who will be weaker, and that might be for make for very boring seasons. So hopefully the devs have some kind of plan in mind on that one. But in any case, it will be interesting to see what will happen. Most of the big realms will definitely register for this because it's the newest thing. There's this artifact variant, so I've already seen a teaser about this, which does show that we will have 2 artifacts on legions, but this is not going to be any 2 artifacts in the game. This will be 1 artifact that you currently have, and then you'll be able to bring special season artifacts. So only certain artifacts will be craftable with prestige during the season, and you'll be able to add these artifacts to your legion. So it's going to be a little bit of a different thing for those of you who are expecting to bring 2 of their own artifact. That's not how it's going to work. Now, we don't have a lot of information about this, but we did see a sneak peek of this in the past, so it will be interesting to see exactly what it looks like when it launches. Now, there's also Alliance portals. So Alliance portals will allow Alliance to make basically portals into someone in their camp. So, I mean, we talked about how everybody's divided earlier, so you'll be able to create some kind of portal to go and help your allies in some way. So, I mean, this is going to be very interesting instead of just staffing all the time. Now, another thing that's very interesting is Behemoth Rapid Raids. Now, Miasma Giant and Cosmic Rocks are going to be back, so cool for the frames. Also, Rapid Raid means that the first open, when the raid basically just opens, there's a 6-hour first contest period. So I think for frame and stuff, it won't change anything. The first person who does it still gets the frame. But this is going to make it so that when the period ends, the layer becomes permanently protected. Ownership cannot be changed, which means you can't switch around behemoths at the end of the season for rewards. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with these. Of course, everybody's going to have some on their region, but when you're getting to contested region, it will make a very big difference who captures it first, because afterwards you can leave the zone and this is still yours forever. So you can get the season reward and not focus on that zone. I mean, we'll see exactly what that means, but very interesting mechanic to see, because it will make diplomacy and end of season rewards very different. And then after that, I mean, spires, we've seen them every season. It's pretty interesting. There is the Divine Twilight buff, which makes the spire a bit stronger in the season. So the first time it's occupied, and then it will be reduced every 24 hours. So as soon as you capture a spire, it'll be very strong and it'll get weaker. So it will be interesting to see how that works. New policies, I've seen this said many times, and it's usually always a bit more of the same, but I mean, we'll see what it means. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be looking for long-range warfare for archers. I don't see anything here that hints at that, but you never know. So yeah, that's about it for this season. I will see obviously what it looks like when it comes out, and I'll make a video about that. So hopefully this video was a bit helpful for everybody about what's happening for buying back troops at the end of the season. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you on the next video.